सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। We will chant the Guru Parampara shloka. Narayanam Padmabhuvam Vasishtham Shaktim cha Tatputra Parasharam cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Mathasya Shishyam Shri Shankaracharya Mathasya Padma Padam cha Hasta Malakam cha Shishyam Tam Totakam Vartikakarmanyan Asmadgurun Santatamanatosmi. Shrutismriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. We had learnt the Shanti mantra, so we will begin with that. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Stushtuagam Sastanubhihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vridhashravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti nastarksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspati'r Dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Salutations to all. Every Upanishad begins with a Shanti part. The purpose of the Shanti part is, as Arjun says in the Gita, our mind it has 4 qualities. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramathi balavad dridham. Tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. 6th chapter he says this, that our mind is very fickle, chanchalam. He tells Bhagavan that, oh Bhagavan, my mind, chanchalam hi mana Krishna, that it is very, very fickle. Jumps from one thought to another, is not able to steadily maintain a chain of thought. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. Pramathi, it is very impulsive. 1 minute it decides something, next minute it will change. And many times without rationale, without logic, just felt like doing it. Yes. Nothing wrong in being in touch with the feelings, being aware and then acting out of it is not wrong. But impulsiveness, where that is having one doesn't even think sometimes what will be the consequences, how it can be harmful, but impulsively say something, do something. So chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramathi balavat dridham. Actually balavat dridham is one word, but one can just to understand, one distinguishes that it is very, very strongly attached. Balavat. It is powerful also if we say balavat as a separate word, that our mind is really powerful. But the direction in which it is going today, it gets very strongly attached to things, beings, situations. And dridham means unyielding in this context. You take that mind away from one attachment. If you don't give it something higher and it doesn't get inspired by it, it will go back to that attachment. Unyielding. So many times one would have tried to get out of certain attachments, certain addictions. For some time mind is able to, again it goes back. Unyielding. Now with such a mind, if we have to listen to the highest knowledge, which is saying you are beyond mind, and which needs steady contemplation to reject who I am not and to assert who I am, the knowledge will not go inside. If one thinks that I will come to the class, I will listen and transformation will happen, it will not happen. Whatever transformation has to happen, it will happen when the mind is ready. It will keep happening in the class itself. Then one reflects and more can happen. But for that the mind must be available to listen. If the mind is not available, one mind is wandering, even while listening, it has gone somewhere else. Then Atmagyan cannot arise. The Siddhant in Vedanta is very simple. The knower has to contact the known, then the knowledge will arise. If the knower only is absent, knowledge will arise to whom? The known is present but the knower is not contacting. Atma is ever present. It is our nature. Knowledge is being given. So that also is there, present, known. The knower, the mind, has gone somewhere. How will the knowledge arise? So Shanti mantra is to tune this mind. And the teacher and the student have to chant together. It's very interesting. Many times people think that okay, there's some formality going on. I have seen even in study groups. When invocation is being chanted, the Sevak, Sevika, whoever is chanting, or if the Swami Brahmachari is there, one is chanting, they think okay, inka formality khatam hone do. So some of them are looking here, there, reading something, waiting, watching, okay, how is the chanting happening. A teacher and student both have to chant together to tune the mind. So invocation in the beginning is done always. In our Sanatan Dharma we invoke Bhagwan before every auspicious thing also. Any program also we will start by lighting a lamp, doing an invocation. Any auspicious event, whether it is Graha Pravesh or a marriage or any samskar which we do, invoke the divine. Because that's the purpose, that divinity alone is, everything else is illusory. So here the invocation is chanted by the teacher and the student to tune up to the common altar of surrender. The teacher also tunes up to the divine, surrenders the ego. Student also tunes up to the divine, surrenders the ego. You know, in the commentary of Gurudev, this Mandukya Upanishad commentary, if you read the introductory portion of peace invocation, very beautifully in the first paragraph itself Gurudev says that the chanting of the invocation, a usual routine insisted upon for both the teacher and the taught, is a reply to the lie that Vedanta is contrary to the path of devotion. Some people somehow think like that Vedanta is dry, Vedanta has no bhakti, Vedanta is just hair-splitting logic and argumentation. Throughout the Upanishads, there is Ishvara Bhakti, there is Guru Bhakti, there is Shastra Bhakti. Somehow people still think there is acceptance of the divine at all levels. Even if the Upanishad says the whole world did not even come into being, or one level below, that the entire world is illusory, the Upanishad still, because we are at that level of identifying with the BMI, so for us the world is real. From there it has to lift us to that heights. So Upanishad or the Shruti Mata comes down to our level to accept there is a Srishti, there is Ishvara, there is Brahman, there is Virat, then there are Devatas. So we may think of bhakti in a specific way only, but bhakti is emotions turned towards the divine, is devotion. And here we see that in the Shanti mantra it comes Swastina Indro Vriddha Shravaha, Swastina Pusha Vishwavedaha, all that will come. Devatas also are accepted. Ishvara of course is. So as Gurudev says here, it's a reply to the lie that Vedanta is contrary to the path of devotion. It is not contrary. Both of them lead to surrender of the divine. Surrender to the divine. And without bhakti, emotions and ego don't surrender. Simply listening to logic, however great that logic may be, will the ego surrender? If logic was enough to surrender, by now so many things would have been so easy. As again Gurudev would say that to cultivate the head is very easy, to cultivate the heart is most difficult. It's our emotions only which don't accept. Logically one knows, simple example if we give, logically one knows that each one has come with their own karma. Each one will do what they have to do as per their own past baggage which they have brought and what they have come here to fulfill. We know it. Still our mind doesn't understand. There will be insistence, there will be resistance, there will be attachment, there will be so many things. One knows that I should be detached, I can be loving, but I don't have to be insistent. But one is not able to convince the mind. One knows attachment leads to sorrow. The more attached I am, more my sorrow will be. But where that logic is there, but one is not able to live. Even at physical level, one knows smoking, drinking is bad for the health, but where is one able to stop? So this mind needs an altar of surrender. Upanishads start with that. What is that common altar where one has surrendered the mind? And that is the altar of the totality, the Ishvara. Individuality surrenders in front of the totality. When one understands that I am one part, if one considers it in that sense, that I am a part, totality is the whole, then one surrenders. Or one says, no, I am individual, he is my creator, with Dvaita or Vishishta Dvaita. Then Dvaita says, I am a servant of that, I surrender. Whichever bhavna one has, from Advait standpoint, one says that the whole Srishti is an appearance of that one truth. I surrender to that infinite consciousness. Whichever bhav one takes, Dvaita, Vishishta Dvaita, Advaita, all three are part of Vedanta. Please remember. Dvaita Vedanta, Vishishta Dvaita Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta, they all are Vedanta only. So when one surrenders, then one mind becomes focused, quiet, receptive. Then Gurudev goes on to say that prayer here is an invocation. It is not a humble, meek, impotent beggary for personal gains from some convenient, mighty power which presides over the helpless destinies of the devotees. People think like that. It is some begging, going and asking, giving one demand list. Give me this. See, again, there is nothing wrong in asking anything from Bhagavan. Like a child will go and ask the parent only. There is nothing wrong in asking Bhagavan ki please bless me with XYZ. No problem. But Many people think it that is only that. Gurudev is rejecting that. It's not some meek, impotent beggary where one is just feeling I am so useless, helpless, hopeless. It is not Dina Bhakti. It is some attitude of weakness, low confidence, and thinking Bhagwan is some mighty superpower controlling the lives of everybody. That attitude some have, and that attitude in some ways is uh, inappropriate because Bhagwan himself says Uddhared Atmana Atmanam Na Atmanam Avasadet. Lift yourself by yourself, don't condemn yourself. Because our nature is divinity. And when we keep pulling ourselves down, become weak, meek, completely helpless, not identifying the divine potential in us, that is what Gurudev is indicating here, that in such a state one goes and begs and one keeps helplessly waiting, if Bhagwan will do something, what will I do, my life is like this only, I am incapable, ye to mujhse nahi hoga. If those kind of thoughts of weakness, Gurudev says prayer is not that. It is not a humble, meek, impotent beggary for personal gains from some convenient mighty power who presides over the helpless destinies of the devotees. It is not a submission, it is not done in the spirit of showing our hat around a crowd of omnipotent deities. Show the hat and people will put some pennies. It is not like that. On the other hand, prayer in its truest sense is an attempt to invoke the mighty potentialities that are already in us through a process of mental integration. So no doubt it is invoking the divine, but the divine is not just thinking that it is out there, in here. Mighty potentialities that are already in us through a process of mental integration. You bring the mind to quietude, you experience the divine. So this is the vision Gurudev has when he says that this is how. So Shanti mantra is, as we saw, it's not just some prayer, it is an invocation. And yes, there are certain things that we are seeking for what? For this mental integration. To make that mind tuned up, to integrate the head, heart and hands, to surrender, so that we are able to realize the truth. And that's why I say it's not some beggary. Now coming to this prayer, this invocation, Shanti Path, as we saw, this specific thing will do 5 things. First one is Arogya. Second is Mangal Anubhav. Third is Pratibandha Nivritti. Fourth, Anugraha. And fifth is Shanti. How? Let us see. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha. With many, many ears, Karnebhi. Karnebhi is plural. We are supposed to have only 2 ears. Not supposed to, we have only 2 ears. Still it is saying Karnebhi, meaning though we have 2 ears, may we listen as though we have many, many, many ears with great single pointedness. And what should we hear? Bhadram, what is auspicious. So Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha, O Devatas, meaning O phenomenal forces. For us, Sanatan Dharma, the whole Srishti is Chaitanyamay. It is not inert. It is Chaitanya, pervaded by infinite consciousness. And so we have Devis, Devatas for different aspects of the Srishti. These Devatas are, in simple words, we say they are phenomenal forces taking care of the different aspects of creation. Gurudev always gave that example of the government. So you would say that the government, if we say it is functioning, central government, let us say from the parliament, Rashtrapati Bhavan there. In the state it will be the Vidhan Sabha, Legislative Assembly. But there are various departments. You have to go for what you need to those specific departments, and those departments will help you out. And those are spread out in different places, different hierarchies are there. Same way in the whole Srishti, there are different levels of devatas who will take care of various aspects of Srishti. Imagine to run a country, how many people are required? Just formally, in the government setup itself, how many posts are there? How many MPs are there? Below them, each department, how many people are there? In every state, there are so many, MLAs and whatever, minister, chief minister, deputy chief minister, so many posts, and each one having so many more people below. So devatas are like that, phenomenal forces. 33 are main deities. Now please remember, when we say 33 are main deities, does not dismiss all the other deities. When we say 33 koti, 33 crores. So some people say, no, it is not crores, it is only types. Yes, it is type, no doubt. Koti word also means type. And Taittiriya Upanishad Bhashya of Shankaracharya ji, if you see, there he has explained also what are these 33. So he says that 12 Adityas, 11 Rudras, 8 Vasus, Indra and Brahaspati. Somewhere else you will find Indra and Ashwini Kumars. Indra, Prajapati, like that some differences will be there, but broadly these are 33 types. Below them there are so many more. So there are 33 crores also. You should not say, it is a translation mistake hai. And then people make fun of us saying Hindus worship 33 million gods. अब whether it is 33 gods or 33 million gods, those who are making fun of us, they are anyway making fun of us because they don't understand. Then they have a hue and cry about creation, ecology, environment, global warming, climate change. We see the Srishti as divine. We see the Srishti as appearance of consciousness, and each aspect of the Srishti is governed by certain devatas whom one can propitiate. Vedic culture was propitiate them through the yajnas, do the ahutis, offering, so Agnihotra and so many other rituals, Vedic rituals. Indraya swaha idam namama, Varunaya swaha idam namama, Prajapataye swaha idam namama, Suryaya swaha idam namama. You offer ahutis through the mantras. Mantras have the power to influence the devatas, impact them positively, and then they in turn bless you. Gita itself, Bhagavan is saying that Devan bhavayata nena te deva bhavayantu vaha. You propitiate the devatas and they will bless you. Parasparam bhavayanta shreya paramavapsyatha. Mutually cooperating with each other, attain the highest. Now, Swamiji, the devatas are there in Satyuga, maybe Vedic time, Upanishad time. Today we don't believe in devatas. It is like saying gravity was there in Satyug, but Kali Yuga, I don't think gravity functions. Thora decline ho gaya. Devatas are there in Srishti throughout all the 4 yugas. You and I have become more grosser. Our mind has become more grosser. So we think that okay, the devatas, to ye sab to pata nahi kaun hai ye log. It has been created by human beings, just to control the society, just to make money, and they have created all these devatas, and then you do rituals, and then you get dakshina, ho gaya. It is not like that. If somebody is exploiting that system, that is wrong, but that doesn't deny the truth. that devatas, phenomenal forces, they exist. And these devatas are positions. Certain sadhanas one does, certain punya one acquires, one will attain a certain level of position where one will enjoy also and one will take care of the srishti also. And you please remember one thing, Vedic explanation, I don't remember if I said it last class, but the Vedic understanding of the deities, of devatas, is very different from the Puranic understanding of the devatas. Somehow in the Puranic description, it will appear to us as though ये devata कौन है? They are just going on indulging, enjoying, and then they are so weak, they don't do any tapasya, and these asuras are there who are doing tapasya, getting boons, and every time they attack the devatas, these devatas are so weak, they get conquered, they get overpowered, then helplessly they go to Bhagwan, and then Bhagwan will do something for them to rescue them, and they get back their devalok. And the only job they have is keep showering flowers, and Bhagwan takes avatar, destroy the Rakshasas, shower flowers. Come appropriate time, play the drums and the conch, and the Apsaras will do the nritya and everything. See, there is a certain purpose, we have to understand that also. It is also to show to human being that no matter what you do, you may attain the highest level of pleasure, you may go to Devalok also, still insecurity will be there, still cravings will be there, feeling of finitude will be there, Jiva Bhav will remain, so jealousies will also be there, fear will also be there. Hence, happiness, if you really seek, turn within and know that indestructible truth. To get Vairagya, this description will be there. Some of this will be Leela, some of this will be symbolism. We can't take only one stand saying everything is just symbolism, it has never happened in the Puranas, or everything has to be historical. If this is not historical, this is not real. There are different methods of teaching. We are very weird, the mind appreciates certain different ways of teaching when it comes from the West. They say, it has to be interactive, engaging, through questions, through quiz, through demonstration, through case studies, through, logic, through history. These are so many ways, the variety of ways by which one can communicate knowledge, and the mind of the student will be so beautifully trained in the holistic education system. All that one will say. And when this more than that is given in the Puranas, in the Itihasas, in our Veda, where there is symbolism, where there is metaphysics, where there is this history also, where there are future possibilities also, where there is logic, so many methods are there by which the student is taught certain things. There one thinks of only one, it has to be, has this happened? If this has not happened, I won't accept. Is this scientific? Is this confirming to our knowledge today? Then only I will accept. That is our limitation. We have to break out of that. And if you really want to experience, do those sadhanas, do Agnihotra and see. You will see the grace. You will experience. The forms also are given. If you open the Veda and read, there is a form of Agni Devata, there is a form of Indra Devata, and it will be stunning and surprising to you that what form is given there is not the form that we see, depicted in the movies and all that, or even in the serials. Very different forms are there. And so again, those people who think that, the Vedic times, only nature worship happened, there were no forms. You open and read and see the description of Agni's form, Indra's form, who is the Vahan of which Devata, and how they look, and what are the things that they have, and how do they function, is all given. They were worshipped through fire. and offerings are made to them, but in the mind the form is being visualized and then the devata is being invoked and then offerings are done in the Agni, it will reach and they will bless. So yes, necessarily murtis may not have been there, but forms are there. And so these devatas are being invoked. These are powerful phenomenal forces, much more powerful than human beings, and so they are able to even see future. And for devatas, you know, the short span of human life is very, very less. 1 day of ours, 1 year of ours is just 1 day in a devata's life. Forget devatas, even pitrus, those who have departed from here, the ancestors, for them also our 1 day and night, 1 year is only 1 day and night for them. So 6 months is day, 6 months is night. So Uttarayan is the daytime, Dakshinayan is the night time. Which is why when we do Shraddha, 16 years suppose you do, 13 years suppose you do, you are taking care of them in their realm of time only for 13 days, 16 days. Now, my point of saying all this is what? When we chant the Shanti mantra, we do with Shraddha. That's why I'm explaining all this. That when we say Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunayama Devaha, O Devatas, they govern the phenomenal forces as well as they govern the personality, because this is a part of the Srishti only. So we say, O Devatas, may we see auspicious, may we hear auspicious. So what is auspicious now? Before we come to Bhadram, Deva, literally Div, Dhatu, root is Div. Div means to illumine. Dyotanat Devaha, that which illumines. So phenomenal forces, Devatas are taking care of. That is one meaning, that because of them the Srishti is going on. So Surya Dev, Chandra Dev, Varun Dev, Vayu Dev, Agni Dev, Indra Dev, all Devatas are there. That is in the Samashti. In the Vyashti, Devatas govern the functioning of the BMI. So when we say Chakshusha Surya, in the Surya Devata is the presiding deity of the eyes. Then eyes are illumining the form for us. Without the eyes, we won't be able to see the form. Like that, different parts of the personality. Tattvabodh, if you read, you will know all different devatas. Vacho devata, Vanhihi, Chakshusha Suryaha, Rasanayaha, Varunaha, Granasya Ashvinau, Shrotrasya Digdevata. That way, different parts, Manaso devata, Chandrama, Buddhehe Brahma, like that, different deities are there. Hastayor Indraha. All these deities, they are presiding forces who empower this BMI. Each aspect, capability comes from that Devata, and that will illumine something for us. How we use it is our choice. It is not the Devata sitting and controlling us. It is like the municipality has given you the connection. Now water is coming in your house. So the water department's anugraha is there, water is coming in your house. Electricity department anugraha is there, electricity is in your house. Now how you use it is your choice. The water department is not controlling your usage in your house. Same way. So now that is the meaning of Devata. Bhadram Karnebhi Shunuyama Devaha. So what is Bhadram now? What is auspicious? When we think of what is auspicious, simple meaning which we understand is that which helps us to evolve is auspicious. Simplest meaning. Which helps us to evolve from what? From Tamoguna and Rajoguna to Sattva-guna. Which brings us to Sattva is auspicious. Again, nothing wrong in being dynamic. Nothing wrong in even taking rest. Gunas are required for the BMI to function. BMI means body, mind, intellect. So gunas are required. It is not that the gunas are bad. All the three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, are necessary for us. They have a binding aspect. That is what one has to get out of. So tamoguna is required for sleep. Tamoguna is required for rest and rejuvenation. But ignorance of the self, laziness, lethargy, procrastination, indolence, carelessness, those are binding aspects of tamoguna which we don't need. Same way, dynamism, achievement, goals, action, planning, working together, all that is rajoguna we require. Attachment, greed, jealousy, these are the binding aspects that we don't need of rajoguna. And sattva guna. So knowledge, creativity, balance, innovation, calmness, quietude, peace, all that is required. And then the ego of knowledge, that is not required. Jnana ahankar is not required. Superiority that I know more than somebody else, not required. That is the binding aspect of sattva guna. So all the three gunas are required. What helps me to come even in the required one, what helps me to live maximum in sattva guna is auspicious. So one meaning is that auspicious means that which helps us to cultivate maximum sattva. Second, which helps us to come back to who we are truly. Anything that helps us to return to our true nature is bhadram. In this context of the Upanishad, that is very important because the student is attempting to know the truth. So what helps me to turn within is auspicious. So it can be nice soothing music which can quieten the mind. It can be nature where I am seeing a nice sunset and my mind becomes quiet. I am closing the eyes and listening to the chirping of some birds. It could be anything like that. Some nice book I am reading which is inspiring and elevating my thoughts. All that sattva guna. So if senses have to be used, we can't not use the senses all the time. It can't be just shut, withdrawn. So I have to use my senses. So, O Devatas, please help me to engage my senses only in that which is bhadram. Because those will become my thoughts. What I see, hear, taste, smell, touch. So here two senses are given, but they indicate all the senses of knowledge. Hearing and seeing indicate the other three also. Smelling, tasting, touching. They are jnana indriyas. And by implication the other five also, which are karma indriyas. So evacuating, reproducing, grasping, movement, speaking, all. So may all the 10 senses, may I engage in the world through my 10 senses with that which is auspicious. See that prayer. Again, this debunks the myth that Vedanta says don't enjoy life. Vedanta says yes, you engage in whatever is auspicious. So even the sattvic enjoyment, if it is in moderation, if it is as per dharma, it is auspicious. Where there is no attachment, where there is no dependence, one enjoys in moderation in a dharmic way. There is no craving afterwards, there is no craving before, one enjoys. Then that is bhadram only. Vedanta is not against enjoyment. Vedanta is not against usage of senses. One has to use anyway. Might as well use in that which is elevating. Some kirtan of Bhagwan one is listening. Right now the trend is on, no? Bhajan clubbing. Very good. Go and sing bhajans, dance to the name of the Lord. It's bhadram. The mind doesn't have the capability to keep on withdrawing from the senses and sitting in contemplation whole day. That is not going to happen. And I must train the senses to engage in what is auspicious and withdraw from what is not auspicious, what is not conducive for my evolution, which will bring down my sattva guna amidst the world where all types of things are available. And today's world, though, it is available at the drop of a hat right in the phone. So much vivek is required to engage in what is auspicious and what is not auspicious. Otherwise, the mind is very easily tempted. So every time one says Bhadram Karne Bhi Shrunuyama, I am telling my senses to engage in what is auspicious because that is good for you. Now, why only these two senses are taken up? Bhadram Karne Bhi Shrunuyama, Bhadram Pashyem Akshabhi is very powerful and interesting. They could have said eating also. They could have said, may I eat what is auspicious? No, Swami, they are sitting in class. No, they can't eat. That logic is good. That you can apply saying we are sitting in the class so they are not eating anything. Vedant class is not like, okay, now the teacher is speaking and now I'm eating chips and listening. Okay, yeah, I am Brahman. Very good, thank you. It's not like a movie, popcorn, khao, baith ke. Some places it happens like that also. Pravachan is going on and they are serving tea, coffee, biscuit. Arey bhai, Vedant is not heard like that. It's not some entertainment happening. Uttam Adhikari will leave everything mentally also and think that there is no world existing, only this truth which I want to know. That is the Uttam Adhikari and listening to Vedant. Here people are going on serving something and drinking and eating and Ekagra Chitta one requires. In Ramcharitmanas, Bhagwan Ram is asked some question in the forest. When Bhagwan has gone to the forest, Lakshmanji is asking question. What is Jnana, what is Vairagya, what is Maya, what is Bhakti, he asks. That's called Ram Gita, Tulsi Ramayana. Before Bhagwan answers, he says very clearly, Sunahu tat man mati chitlai. He says, oh my dear son. And lovingly he calls him. Sunahu. How? Man mati chitlai. Bring your mind, your memory and your intellect to one place and listen with full attention. These three only are sources of our distraction mainly. Our mind, emotions, our memories, what all we have gone through those memories of the past, and our intellect which has plans for the future. Mind is distracted by this. He says you be here and now. Listen fully with complete attention. So why these two senses? Because they make our thoughts mainly. If you analyze what is a thought, Gurudev used to say thought is equal to object plus consciousness. Thought is object illumined by consciousness. And what is that object? Is Nama and Rupa, mainly name and form. So name I am hearing, or the name indicates sound. I am hearing through the ears. Form I am seeing through the eyes. So what I see and what I hear makes impressions. Images are imprinted on the mind through the eyes and through the ears, sounds. Whatever I touch, feel, smell, taste, all that also makes an impact, but when eyes are there, sound is there, the impact is so much more. And so Bhagwan is, one is praying to Bhagwan here, saying that, O Devatas, may I see what is auspicious, may I hear what is auspicious. So Bhadram means that which brings us to maximum Sattva Guna, which helps us to come back to the self, which is good for us and good for the others. That is also another aspect of Bhadram, which helps the society overall as well as the individual. It is not just, it is good for me, I don't care what happens to the society. No. That individualistic thought is not there. So, Bhadram Karnebhi Shunayama Devaha. Bhadram is that which helps me to live up to my conviction as per the Shastra, which gives me that strength to live up to my convictions and not to compromise. The moment I compromise, it becomes abhadram, inauspicious. Because now I know what is right, I know what is to be done, what is the higher way of living, and I am compromising, then it is abhadram. Even the simplest example what we saw, suppose somebody knows that non-vegetarian should not be eaten, especially for a sattvic person who is trying to realize the truth, it will create tamoguna, it will create rajoguna, it will unnecessarily create physical issues also. Where choice is available, don't even eat. Now one knows, plus karmic consequences, one knows all that. Still, for the tongue, one eats. Now, then that is abhadram. Because one compromised with one's own conviction. No, but I am not convinced only, Swamiji, by the scripture, so it is bhadram then, I am eating without conviction. That is also abhadram, because reading the scripture and knowing what the scripture is saying and not putting in the effort to change my thought process and being convinced, that itself is abhadram. Then justifying the eating is not bhadram. So, what will help me to live up to the convictions what the Shastra says? That is bhadram. The moment I compromise, abhadram. Suppose I know that I must do daily sadhana and I compromise in that, then there is abhadram. It is not illegal, it is not immoral, but one has fallen to some lower impulses. Some tamoguna, I procrastinate, I say no, not today, tomorrow. Or some justification, my work is my worship. I don't need to do separate worship. Then all abhadram only. So, one has to do that without compromise, one needs to do. Then that is bhadram. So, these are few meanings of the word bhadram, which will also integrate the personality is bhadram, which will strengthen body, mind, intellect, pranas. This personality, what will strengthen is bhadram. So sattvic food if I eat, it will strengthen my personality, my prana, my mind, bhadram. Pranayam when I do, exercise when I do, keeps the body healthy, immunity increases, muscle growth happens, whatever, so many hormones are released, happy hormones are released, all that, then that is bhadram, which will keep the body in a healthy, strong state, in an integrated state, the body, mind, intellect, so that sadhana can happen. All that is bhadram. So bhadram karne bhi shrunuyama devaha, O devatas. This first one is prayer to all the devatas. Bhadram pashyem akshabhir yajatraha, O worshipped ones. Yaj means to worship, yajatraha, those who have been worshipped, those who are worshipful ones, the devatas, they are being propitiated so that they protect us also. Our mind may get tempted, the devatas with their anugraha can help to move away from this temptation. That inner strength, willpower can come. Because the world has temptations. We have to live in the world, we can't be running away from it. So the only solution is equip oneself to be strong, to be anchored in what is my purpose, why have I come here, and may I enjoy but not get enjoyed. May I not become a victim of enjoyment, may I be a master of enjoyment. Where I choose my enjoyment, quality, quantity, timing, or I will choose all that. I am not a victim of people's thought process, social pressure. Everybody drinking, so I will also drink. Why? Why should I drink? And this question we ask why in everything else, but in some of these we won't ask. Why should I tie a goody? What is the significance of the goody? Simply some age-old ritual you are following. There you will ask all why. And if the friend says, come on, let's snort. There nobody asking why. There one thinks it is cool, I have to belong, I have to fit in, do it. So, Bhadram karne bhi shrunayama devaha, Bhadram pashyemakshabhir yajatraha. May I choose my sense engagements properly so that the senses are not distracting me. As well as we are invoking grace and protection. Now, sthirairangai tushtuvagam, with healthy limbs, sthirai angaihi. Sthirai angaihi stuštuvagam sastanubhihi. So, tushtuvagam means to praise. Saha means devatas. Sas, in that it is, the word is actually saha, and tanu means body. So with the body which has healthy limbs, may we praise you. Meaning, may this body be utilized for sadhana, for seva, for doing swadhyay, living in sanyam, all that. Sthirai rangai, may the body be healthy. So when we chant this, one visualizes also that I am engaging in auspicious, I am listening to auspicious, I am seeing what is auspicious every day. What people talk today as auto suggestions, affirmations, visualization. Shanti mantra is a combination of all that. That a student and teacher are sitting and visualizing that devatas are there, I am praying to them, and my engagement in the world is sattvic. I am affirming I engage only in that which is sattvic. I enjoy as a master, not as a victim. I choose my quality, quantity, timing. That is affirmation, and one visualizes that my body is very healthy. Today science is saying that or not. So many diseases are psychosomatic because one is visualizing the negative things, going through stress, worry, anxiety. It is showing on the body. If one says positive, auspicious, sattvic, then the body also will be like that. So, sthirairangai tuštuvagam sastanubhihi. And in this way, with a healthy body, proper functioning of all the limbs, vyashema devahitam yadayuhu. May we spend whatever lifespan is allotted to us. Who is allotting? Devatas are allotting. Meaning what? As per my karma, Bhagavan is the karma phaladata. Bhagavan does it through different devatas, and I have a certain prarabdha karma to exhaust. Devahitam does not mean that Indra is sitting and deciding. So that's why we have to propitiate Indra. Why? Indra Bhagavan, ये हमारा फाइल है, इसमें 5 हरा पत्ती रखा हुआ है, प्लीज नेक्स्ट लाइफ में ये चाहिए. So I want long life, I want this, I want that, I want that. This is my file. Devahitam. It is not like that. Devahitam means as per my prarabdha karma, whatever I have done, that is my total sanchit bank. In that, whatever is ready to give result, for that the devatas will give the environment, and according to that certain number of years of body's life. This body will live this many years, and nobody can stop that body from living till that prarabdha is not exhausted, and nobody can stop that body from dropping when the prarabdha is exhausted. That's why Vyashema Devahitam Yad Ayuhu. Whatever Ayu is provided to us as per our prarabdha, we don't blame anybody. Swamiji, I am so unfortunate, I should have been born in America, The history of the world would have been different after that. Somehow I got born in India. अब क्या करें, यहाँ तो opportunity ही नहीं है. So many Indians only have gone from here and made America great. Now also they are making. What are you sitting and cribbing and complaining? You are not using your Purusharth. We think that, oh, some Bhagwan's this thing it is and my fate. Your own karma it is. Lot of people don't come to Vedant because the ball will come in their court. Forget Vedant, they don't come to Adhyatma Gyan, they don't come to spiritual path. Because if one comes to spiritual path, one has to own that I am responsible for what I am going through right now. And how I will face what is coming to me also is my choice right now. Can't blame anybody. They are only incidental factors. They are not the main factor. The main factor is my own karma. So why am I going through something? My karma. Don't blame. Why am I born in this family? Why am I having this type of parents? Why am I having this type of schooling, this type of education, that type of boss, this type of spouse? Nobody to be blamed. It is my own karma. And so, whatever I have been destined, may I go through that with this attitude of service, seva, sadhana, sanyam, and may my body be healthy to go through that. Many people say this or not, Swamiji, we have no problem in dying, but we don't want to suffer and die. We want to have a healthy life. Old age is there, let it come. We don't have a problem with old age, but this dependency, suffering, loneliness, physical ailments, that creates trouble for us and makes others also suffer. We don't want that. That's exactly the prayer here. Okay, whole life may we live healthy, may the limbs be fine, and may we do our seva and we worship the divine. Whatever may be the lifespan, may we live it like this. Every day I am telling my mind, my life is fine, I am healthy, may I be happy, may I be strong. This is of auto-suggestion, affirmation, all that. So these are two lines, praying to Devatas in general. Now specifically one is invoking. Swasti. The word Swasti means what? Su Asti. Su means good. Asti means is. So may good happen. What is good may I see and experience, and what has to happen may that also be good. So Swasti na Indro. Now this na is not a indeclinable particle here. When we say na, it means negation. Na karmana means not by karma. This na is not a, in the first line if you see, Swasti na. Na, if you see the second one, it says Swasti na Pusha. So the first one also is Naha actually. But that Visarga Lopa has happened. So Naha is us. Now you see, this prayer is also a universal prayer, the Shanti mantra. It is not only that I should see auspicious, others let them go to hell. Everything be good for me, baki ka pata nahi. He is saying, may all of us, Swasti, Naha. So may Indra be propitiate, may Indra be gracious to us, all of us. Swasti, Naha, Indra. And who is this Indra? Vriddha Shravaha. He is the most ancient, most experienced. He is the king of the Devatas. What does Indra symbolize? As far as phenomenal forces are concerned, Indra symbolizes the king of gods. Second, his specific department is rain. He controls the rains. So rains come through grace of Indra, as far as phenomenal forces are concerned. Second, Indra also is symbolic of the senses of ours, the hands specifically. So senses of action, he symbolizes senses of action here. Hastayoho Indraha. So may our senses be auspicious to us. May they lead to good only. Swastina Indra. And in some of the descriptions or etymological meanings of Indra, Indra also is symbol of mind. Idam drashta iti Indraha. One who is experiencing all this. Idam is this world. Who is experiencing? Mind is experiencing. So may this mind be auspicious to us. So it's a prayer not only to the Devata, it is also a prayer that may my senses of action as well as my mind be auspicious to me, because now I am going to study. They should not tempt me. So Swastina Indro Vriddha Shravaha. What do the hands symbolize? Not only senses of action, hands symbolize Purushartha. That maximum Purushartha is required to go against our own mind lower impulses and know the truth. May I put in that effort? Not only in the action level, in the knowledge, more Purushartha is required in knowledge level. That when the Shastra is saying something, it is subtle. May I reflect, may I do my homework, may I change my conviction. Suppose you got the homework last time you got, na? Think of what is Bhadram. How many of you did? If you did, then you have put your Purushartha. If you have not done, Purushartha has not been done. You may have some valid reasons. I am not judging or making any conclusion. But when Purushartha is done, then the impact is different. If it is not done and Tamoguna is one of the causes for it, then one has fallen. So, Swastina Indro Vriddha Shravaha. That may Indra, who is most ancient, who is very wise, help us to do Purushartha. Jnana sadhana is very subtle sadhana. Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan, and whatever, reflection one has to do, homework one has to do. If some things are not clear, doubts one needs to write down, ask, clarify. All that is very important. Then that is the Purushartha. Little more is left here that we will take up in our next class. For today we will stop. If there are any questions, you are welcome to ask. All right. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.